All right, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Believers Club. This is episode 22. And again, keep it locked. Every Wednesday, we drop a new episode, Serena and I, on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and all of that good stuff. Okay, so the topic today is why the fuck is nutrition so important for your success? God, I've been like, this is a topic that, oh, you always hear about people that wake up at 5 a.m. and they go for a run and they go eat a bowl of acai or whatever it is. And they're like so healthy on Instagram all the damn time. Well, I was never that person, but I've always wanted to be that person. And then I realized that I was just trying to be somebody that I'm not, right? I didn't like that whole routine. So, but there's things about what successful people do that you really just got to listen to. And they always say that you got to eat right. Your doctor says it. Everyone you know says you got to sleep well, exercise, eat right. That shit is real. And I think that we just we play it off because we're like, whatever, it doesn't match our lifestyle. Maybe we're partiers, like to go out, have fun. We don't really care about all that. I mean, I go on TikTok. There is a guy on TikTok and his entire page is dedicated to him taking videos of him going through drive-thrus and ordering. He literally just pulls up to Wendy's and he goes, can I get this, this, and that? Video's over. And he has hundreds of thousands of followers, and he almost makes me want to go to a drive-thru now, right? And I'm saying, like like millennial generation, man, like we are all about that fast food, drive-through, junk food life. And we gotta cut that shit out. And I'm telling this to you as a 31-year-old who wishes that I had started this a lot sooner. Okay, because once you start building up those habits of just eating like junk, it's really hard to break it. It's hard. It's really difficult because food becomes a part of our lifestyle. So the way that we eat, I genuinely believe the way that we eat turns into more than just our food. It turns into the way that we like plan our days and we live our life based on how we're going to eat that day. Right. And I have noticed a shift. So about 5 years ago, I went from being a vegetarian to vegan. Before that, I was vegetarian for about 12 years, or maybe even longer than that. And it was just a natural shift for me. But don't get me wrong, even as a vegetarian or as a vegan, it's still easy to eat pretty bad. Still easy. And Serena knows this because she's vegan as well. Just because we claim the vegan title, that doesn't mean that we don't eat shitty. I mean, yes, definitely better to have a soy or I don't know, a chickpea chocolate cake as opposed to like real chocolate cake. But it still adds up. It's calories, it's sugar, it's all those things. And we still eat potato chips. We still go for all those like deep fried vegan junk food. And it catches up to you. Okay. And if you want to be in business, if you want to actually like live for yourself, thrive, and like be an entrepreneur, I'm telling you that your food is going to make a huge impact on how you actually run your business, because food is energy. And when you're an entrepreneur, man, like you're putting in everything that you have into your business, right? And if you don't have good stuff to put out or to put in, you're not going to have good stuff to put out. So this is what's happened recently. So I actually, our family has done a complete food haul of our entire house. We've gotten rid of every piece of junk food that we can possibly find. And we went out to the grocery store and we just did a whole brand new thing of food, groceries. And my mom was recently diagnosed with cancer, and it was due to environmental causes. And I think a lot of that had to do with just our diet and lifestyle, right? It's not, we don't know if that's exactly it, but it very well could be linked to that. And I think that for most people, we think that we're eating okay, but it's actually damaging us a lot, the food that we put in, and it adds up over the years. And now our family's in a situation where we're in a crisis mode because we didn't take care of ourselves and of each other in the best way that we possibly could have. So now we're like doing all these things and we're fixing all this stuff. And it's like, okay, it's better late than never, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I go to the grocery store a couple of weeks ago and loaded up on just greens and anything that was like a junk food, like 'cause there, you got to have your snacks, was a healthier version, right?
Mhm.
Instead of like potato chips, it was like vegetable chips, or
Yeah.
if it was granola bars, it was like the healthier kind. So I get to the till and I unload all the groceries, and the woman goes, "Wow, miss, you really have a healthy lifestyle." Little did this lady know this is only the second time I've bought all this good stuff. But it
Yeah.
clicked in for me because I was like, oh, that felt good
Hmm.
for someone to see that. And it also felt really sad because I was like, fuck, she really doesn't see this enough that she had to comment on it. Like,
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
common behavior for people to have just like a a belt load of veggies
Yeah.
and healthy stuff, like that she had to make a comment. So
Yeah.
it really, really stuck out to me. And since our diet has changed to being healthy, um, I've just felt better. And I think that when we go through things in life where there's emotional turmoil or whatever it is, a lot of us turn to food, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how beautiful would it be if we were to actually turn to food as the medicine that it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, so my mom that's battling the cancer right now, she has always coped with her emotions using food. That's always been a constant, right? And so now that we've switched everything up, it was so difficult for her mentally and emotionally to switch to eating good stuff. Like instead of drinking pop or like, here, mom, here's a glass of wheatgrass. She's like, hated us. She hated us so much,
Yeah.
right? And it just goes to show that like how many of us turn to food in a negative way.
Yeah.
We have to switch our mindset to like, if we're having a shitty day, I want to go drink that glass of wheatgrass juice, or I want to go make myself a smoothie because it actually will make me feel better.
Yeah.
And when we eat junk food, we think it just makes us feel better for the moment because it's like satisfying, but it really just makes us feel worse at the end. And so, yes, I think it's okay to go for food as a coping mechanism, but we have to actually go for the right stuff because the right stuff will actually make us better and make us feel better. And I think we forget that food is our medicine.
Yeah.
It really is.
No, yeah, for sure. I 100% agree with that. And there's a saying, you are what you eat.
It's
And
real.
it's 100% real. And
Now we have to find out why. Like it's a real thing.
no, for sure. And like you said, sometimes we got to hit rock bottom to get to a place of realizing what we need to do and change in our life, which is unfortunate that we got to get to a negative to make our life a positive. But like you said, nothing's ever too late if you try it. If you go after it, no matter what age you are at, no matter what you're battling, if you're willing to try it, it's never too late to try anything. But yeah, you are what you eat. And if you're gonna eat shitty food, like you said, we're both vegan, and I've been vegan for 4 years, and I have not lost a pound, because people used to tell me, oh, you're vegan. Like they would, because I'm not a small person, I'm a thick girl. And they would be like, oh, you can't be vegan if you're still chunky, you know what I mean? And I'm like, nah, I'm 100% vegan. Just know that I can eat ice cream, donut, chips, burgers, pizza,
Got
tacos,
our own version.
burritos, pasta, butter chicken, naans, anything that you can get non-vegan, you can now, today's day and age, you can get vegan.
Yeah.
And vegan doesn't necessarily mean that it's healthy. Like you just heard said earlier, vegan just means there's just no animal products, but you can still fucking be unhealthy as fuck,
You
because
can still consume all the fats and calories.
there's still other shit in it. You're still eating excess amount of food, no matter if it's vegan or not. So yeah, you really have to be mindful. And I'm struggling with food. I've struggled with food my whole life. I I wasn't a huge kid. Like, I'm just gonna take you guys back a little, but I think we've talked about it. I lived in India as a kid for 7 years, and in India, I personally, this is my memory of it. Hopefully, my parents don't feel like I'm like throwing them under the bus. But one of my aunts that we used to like, because Indian people usually live in a big family, and my aunt used to be there, and she would literally like deprive me of fruits and shit. Like, oranges would fucking go moldy, but she wouldn't give it to me. So for those few years where I wanted sweets would come to our house, I wanted sweets, but I wouldn't get them. Like, she would literally fucking put them up high, so I would like, it was weird shit. She just, whatever reason, didn't want me to. Maybe it was to save me, like, to not, so I wasn't overeating, but it was fruits and shit. Anyways, those years that I was there, I personally, this is how I think I've either justified or realized why I have issues with food. I felt like I was so deprived of the foods I kind of wanted. And I was born in Canada. So I had a feel of what was the possibility of what you can get food wise. So when I moved back with my grandparents and I was living in Ladner, that's where I met Harj. I lived there for 2 years. I kid you not, I fucking pigged the fuck out. I ate McDonald's, chips, Twinkies, fucking just name everything. I went ham. I went double down. I doubled down on fucking food like I hadn't seen it before. And my body changed within like, I got here at 11 and a half ish. By the time I was 13, my tits were out. It was a different body. Like, I went from flat chest to boobs, everything. And ever since that time, I have struggled with food. I will lose weight with the diet, which is an issue with food. And then I will eat after I finish my diet, go crazy eating, and then put the weight back on, then lose it again, and then lose it again, lose, gain. And finally, I would say probably the last couple of years, even being vegan, I was still struggling, like, oh, how do I lose weight being vegan? I was still eating unhealthy shit. Like I said, I named all those things. I'm to this day. I think I had a pint of ice cream yesterday. So the struggle is still here, but I'm continuously realizing that the small steps that I can make is how I'm going to become successful personally. And I'm doing what I can, but food is fucking crucial to be a healthy human, period. Mentally, physically, emotionally, food is our medicine. Like Harv said, food
100%.
is the medication.
So it's
Yes, go ahead.
I
Yeah, food is
have a thought
medication.
before I lose it. I have a thought
No,
before I lose it.
go ahead.
I struggled with an eating disorder for many years of my life in high school, and I had this weird relationship with food because as a kid, I was always this twiggy, tall, skinny ass little kid with my bones sticking out, okay? That's how I was, and people used to ask my parents, like, do you feed your children because they're bony? And my parents are like, if you knew how these kids ate, we would eat everything. We wanted it, we would eat it, eat it, eat it, and we never put on weight. Hit puberty, and all of a sudden, like, my hormones changed. I kept eating the same way, but my body wasn't reacting the same way. Okay. And I started to gain lots of weight, and my body completely changed because my eating habits were like really bad. Um, and I just remember getting to the point where I was almost 200 pounds at 13 years old. And I was like, I'm going into high school and I need to be skinny.
Mind you, you are a tall person, so
Tall,
yeah,
but I
a
was still
200 might be. Yeah,
I
yeah,
was still chunky.
yeah.
And I have a gut out, I had everything was like
No,
bad.
just for the people that might be like 200, that's heavy. She's tall, so tall people already weight. So yeah, just
Yeah.
say.
But I was like, I had a lot of mass everywhere, and it was
Mhm.
not cute. And I just remember, and I'm not saying that it's not cute because, you know, you have to be worried about your weight, but I was not cute because I ate like no tomorrow, and I literally did not take care of myself. And as a kid, I didn't understand that. So I just knew that I wanted to be thin because I got bullied a lot for my weight in elementary school.
Yeah.
So my friend suggested, hey, why don't you try throwing up after you eat. You can have the best of both worlds.
Mhm.
And it literally took me 5-6 years of this like bad eating disorder habit. Anyways, my point is that food has the ability to fuck up our shit. It really does have the, if we eat so bad, it actually has the ability to really be a detriment to so many other areas of our lives. It can fuck up other parts of our lives like no tomorrow. But
Yeah,
if it has that effect, then it has a positive effect too. I think
exactly.
that like anything that's got a really, really negative effect, if it can do that, then it can probably do the other thing as well, except for hard drugs. Okay, I'm gonna say that. We're gonna
Unless you bounce back from that shit, then
another
hey.
another day. But what I'm trying to say is that if food is a tool, it's just a tool, right? But it can also be the medicine to help us in other areas of our life. So when I started my cleaner eating journey, it's been a journey, right? It was like, okay, let's go vegetarian. Okay, let's go vegan. And now it's like, let's stay fucking healthy, but in a balanced way. So, for example, when we switched up my mom's eating habits, we decided we all have to switch up our household eating habits. It's not just one person.
Yes.
So we all started eating cleaner. We all are now having like healthy foods and all that. And it's crazy to say this, but my mom has never been a healthy food eater really, right? She hasn't been terrible, but like
M- Most
she,
Indian parents aren't. Most Indian parents aren't.
yes, and she has been eating clean and much better in the past few weeks, and she keeps telling me that she's getting hungrier and hungrier. And
Yeah.
she thought that this was a bad symptom. Like, why am I always so hungry? Like, this is bad. I keep eating and I keep feeling more hungry. And it clicked into me. I'm like, Mom, your body has
Yeah.
been craving this nutrition for so long.
Burning through that bitch. Yeah. That's wicked.
It's been craving this type of food for so long.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's trying to get it all. And it's just
Like, give it to me, bitch. Give me that shit. What's that? Yeah, yeah,
this
yeah.
is supposed
That's
to
wicked.
show how our bodies operate, right? Like if you give it the stuff that it's always been asking for, then hey man, it's gonna need that more. And you'll sleep better, you'll feel better, all of these wonderful things. And the other thing too is to understand that when it comes to being sustainable, like when it comes to eating in a way that you can keep up with, you have to understand. I don't like the word balance because it feels too structured. I don't know, maybe it's just me. But you have to just like integrate healthy foods and understand that it's okay to eat the stuff you want to. So
Yeah.
I'll use an example. We've been eating healthy at our house every day, basically.
Hmm.
And I went to my friend's wedding who's trying to help with the makeup, and that day I had an avocado drink from Body Energy Club, like a huge avocado drink, which was like super healthy for you, great protein in there. And later on in the day, like we just continued to eat healthy, right? I had an awesome power bowl, tomato soup, all these wonderful things. And at the end of the night, I went to Burger King and got a pack of fries. Who cares, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yesterday I had an amazing bowl of like oatmeal and like fruits and all that kind of stuff. At dinner time, man, I was having such a stressful time. I went to Panago and I ordered a vegan pizza. I ate the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I finished off the end of the night and I drank like ginger tea and I like, had something that was healthy for me after. And it's one of those things where you just gotta like let yourself live. But within that, letting yourself live also means to like treat your body right. Right. And
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, man, it's one of those things. And I will say this. Okay, if there's any guys listening to this, you may not want to listen, you may just want to mute, turn down the volume. Uh, but when I went vegan, okay, my periods, I stopped getting hardcore period symptoms. Because when I started eating veggies and fruits and all that kind of stuff, mind you, I eat vegan junk food, but I don't eat that much of it. As soon as I went vegan, I did start to eat more like healthier foods in general.
Yeah.
When I got my period, I noticed that I was like, hold on a second, like my body isn't reacting as bad as it used to when I wasn't plant-based.
Yeah.
It was just like your body will thank you in different ways when you eat properly. That's just my PSA.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree with that. My period flow hasn't gone down, but my cramps
Mm,
are like that day. I had just gotten that morning and then I had the makeup appointments all day pretty much. I probably hurt for like a couple minutes and that's never happened. I've always had really bad stomach ache and just like I'm fully completely out for a few hours, but you were there and I was powering through that shit. And that's it. It definitely it makes a difference. Like you got to know that if you're eating vegan or you're eating less meat or more veggies or more fruits, you know that's medicine for your body. Your body is gonna tell you right away. Yeah, I don't. We already talked about period. I was going to talk about number 2, but your body will literally show you in different ways
yeah.
what's working for you and what isn't. And it's on you to do it in whatever manner it works. If baby steps is how you find it the most, if taking baby steps is how you think or how you actually end up accomplishing eating more healthy stuff in a day, do it that way. Baby steps is the way to go with anything in life because that's how you trickle into making something permanent for yourself. But know that food is medication, man. Like the medication that you can get off by eating the good food, priceless.
Priceless. And you know, it's crazy when we take my mom in to see her doctors for her chemo and things like that, and they act like food is not a big deal at all. Like even today they were like, yeah, it's fine, just eat anything, like get it in your stomach, da, 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 da. And I was like, are
Yeah, no.
you joking? Like even today they were saying like if you want to make something tastier, put a little bit of sugar on it, add some butter to your rice.
No,
And I was like,
fuck
are
that.
you serious? And when people are being told this, they think it's okay because the medical professionals are literally telling them, don't worry, it's fine. Like, get it in your system, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to listen to that, right?
Yeah.
And I was standing there just the whole time. My mom was like, oh, my daughter is saying, and I'm like, just don't get me involved, but like, don't do it.
Yeah.
He's like, if you want electrolytes, get Gatorade. I'm like, oh my God, this shit is full of sugar and cancer
Sugar.
thrives off sugar.
Yeah.
What is
Because
this?
I remember when we spoke last, she mentioned, she's like, yeah, the doctors are saying like the diet's not going to help. I'm like, fuck that. I'm like, diet's going to change everything. If it adds time to your mom's life or fucking just fixes it in altogether, why the fuck not? Why is food medicine? Because
And
it's fucking medicine.
and the thing is, it's the very thing that you put into your body. How is that not helpful? It just blows
Yeah,
my
like,
mind.
yeah.
And if food has helped us to get here, food can help us to get out of there too. And even if a disease or an illness has progressed really far, don't you want the patient or the person that is trying to get better to at least feel their best
Yeah,
while they're
exactly.
going through it? I mean, food
Yeah.
can do that, right? So it boggles my mind that we have to really advocate for ourselves for clean and healthy eating. You want to go into the grocery store, don't expect anyone to like hype up the produce section, okay? They're gonna hype
Yeah.
up the candy and the junk
The
food section.
frozen.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you have to really take this upon yourself to make your life as healthy as possible. And I understand that that healthy food is more expensive and less accessible sometimes. I get that. However, we also have to also understand that it is an investment that is worth making because in the end we kind of pay for it, right?
Yeah.
So
You
just
can pay for the food now or you can pay for the hospital bills later. It's totally your call.
yeah, so we just need to be mindful and like understand, where we are in this whole thing. And the thing too is that we need to get is that food actually changes our brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Literally changes your brain chemistry. And when your brain chemistry adapts to something that is good for you, it flows into the rest of your body, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. Being vegan, like we said, you can still be unhealthy and eat unhealthy stuff because there's unhealthy shit out there that's vegan. But I'll tell you one thing, since I've become vegan, the energy level when I eat proper healthy foods, like my regular no ice cream, no bullshit junk food, my energy is fucking top notch. Triple A, whatever you want to label that. It's so clear minded. My mental health is completely different from 4 years ago. I don't know if it was the dead animals, emotions that I was eating away or what.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's
There's
my
a
thought
spiritual
process.
aspect to food as well.
That's my process. I truly feel like I was eating emotions. I was eating scared animals that were being killed in front of each other. We're not going to go into that spiel, but I personally think my mental health and my physical and my emotional well-being is just at a different level right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have those bad days if I had a pint of ice cream to pass the fuck out, because what the fuck are you gonna expect after eating a pint of sugar? Your body doesn't have, there's no energy. But I tell you that when you eat that healthy shit, the veggies, the fruits, anything that's
Yeah.
natural, less processed, the more original it is, your body will fucking thank you in many ways. You might not maybe feel it physically, but sometimes your mental is what clears out before your physical starts to change its shape.
100%.
So,
And you know
yeah.
what? I've battled with depression for a long time, many years. And I
Mm,
will tell you this, like I've had really, really bad bouts of depression in my life. And when I think about what I was also doing during that time, I wasn't eating properly because I just wanted what was accessible and convenient.
yeah.
But the second that I decided, I'm like, okay, I got to try to feel better. I always went to food first to try to make myself feel better. The second that I started eating better and I started getting out and walking, my depression was starting to like fade
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
So I think because I understand that depression is a very serious thing that our society deals with, and I don't want to take that away from anybody. But I will say this as well, that it is sometimes upon us to look at our life, to look at our lifestyle, to look at what we're consuming through food, through our, our eyes, through our ears. All the stuff that we're consuming is a huge contributor to
Yeah.
how we feel.
Yeah.
Food being one of the biggest ones, because food
Yeah.
dictates so much of our life. And so we gotta really like cut that shit out. And I will tell you, alcohol is another one of those things that can really fuck with your success. And
Alcohol and sugar.
don't think that
Alcohol.
alcohol isn't part of your
Yeah.
diet, because it is.
Yeah.
Right? You really got to pay attention to those things. Like I drink occasionally. I had 6 glasses of wine at my friend's wedding, and I think I'm good for like a while. Like I might sip on a nude here and there at a party, but like the moment that I started to really cut that down, my mind started to change about the world. My mind started to change about what I wanted. So just be mindful of like what you're consuming and how you're consuming it, with what intentions you're consuming it, and just watch your life shift.
And one last thing that I want to say. Oh shit.
Oh no, did we lose her? She said one last thing that I want to say, and then her screen just went blank. That's beautiful. I feel like what she wanted to say was probably epic. I'll give her like 5 seconds. I love it. You guys are watching this live. Let's try calling her. Do 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 do. Oh, her battery died. All right, we'll wrap it up. Maybe what we'll have Serena do is we will have her. Yeah, she's gone. What we'll have her do is we'll have her maybe jump on Instagram, share whatever it is that last thought of hers was, and make sure to stay tuned. Every Wednesday we drop an episode, and next will be episode 23. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, all that good stuff. Let us know if you have any feedback, anything that you might want to hear in the future. Let us know, and reach out for support anytime. Me and Serena are always here. Bye.